Hi, good morning. So as we saw there for a second, you may have seen the Teams icon for a second before I appeared. That's because I just put on my camera. And what we're doing this morning, and I'll get back to that in a second, is doing a live demonstration of what the Thought Leadership series might look like based on the utilization of the Teams software and the online broadcasting or OBS software. So as I said for a second there, you saw my camera off. However, when we're running the actual sessions, we'll make sure all the presenters have their cameras on. So yeah, this is how my camera is looking. I don't have a camera set up in a room somewhere on a stand with a mic connected up. What I'm using right now is just a webcam connected and my headset feeding into, as I was stating, a Teams meeting. So let me zoom out a bit so you'll see what's actually going on. So here's what's being broadcasted. It isn't actual camera feed, it's just my webcam into a Teams meeting. You can see Inshan up in the corner there. We have our normal Teams buttons up in the corner as well. We have our presenters, participants, everything listed here. But what I'm broadcasting, what's being broadcasted, isn't this whole thing. We don't want to show the audience everything that's going on in the background. We just have a little zoom in on my camera being displayed for the audience. Now, that's well and good for when we have one presenter, but what happens when we have multiple presenters, as we saw Inshan was up there in the corner? Well, utilizing Teams itself will have to switch between the presenters. So let me just quickly do that and show you how it looks. So using Teams, what we use is the pin feature, whereby you just right click on someone and pin their video, or right click on someone unpin their video. So let me pin Inshan quickly and show you what that looks like. So when I pin Inshan, you'll see myself and Inshan together on the screen here. Because we're both currently pinned, you'll see both of us showing up on the screen. And however, if I unpin one person, so say I unpin myself to show Inshan alone, you'll just see Inshan alone there on the screen. There we go. However, when this pinning occurs, you'll see now and then there's these little flashes of darkness between the pinnings. So let me pin back myself. Now there's both of us, and then unpin Inshan. So I'm back alone. So yep, you might see those like brief flashes of black between the pinning, and that is one of the downsides of using Teams to switch between the participants or whoever might be presenting for these Thought Leadership series. Now, there are workarounds to this, and I'll get to that in a second. So that's how we're viewing the different presenters. So if someone needs to come on to present, they log on to the Teams meeting, and once they're on to the Teams meeting, we just pin them, they unmute their mic, they start talking, and that is broadcasted to the audience. So this, what's going on right here, is being broadcasted to YouTube live actually. The only thing is I haven't sent out the link to anyone, so no one is really viewing this. I believe it's just Inshan viewing the live recording right now, or the live live stream right now. So let's look at some of the workarounds to switching between persons. Now, you might only have to switch between one person's camera and the next when that person is ready to present. If two persons are having a conversation, we could do the pin, as I showed before, where we pin two or even three, four, five persons, and Teams kind of splits the screen to show what the both persons on the screen at the same time. So just removing the pin from Inshan there again. So that's if we have to have a conversation between persons. I'd say that was our best option. We pin both persons, have both of them up on the screen instead of keep on switching between one and the next. That might be our best option. Besides that, if we need to switch between one person and the next, instead of simply clicking and going to the next person, what we could do is have an intermediary picture or slide or something in between, so that it doesn't look jagged. It doesn't jump from one person to the next. So let me just demonstrate what I mean by that. So instead of just going directly to Inshan by pinning him, I'll just quickly switch. Whoops. So I'll quickly switch to an image, this Thought Leadership image. Then I'll pin in Shan, unpin myself, and then I'll switch back to our presenter. Same thing again, I want to bring myself back. I switch back to the image, unpin Inshan, unpin myself, and then switch back to the presenter. And now this image doesn't need to be that thought leadership image, it could be anything. Maybe if you're bringing on a presenter, so that it doesn't look, it doesn't have that black flash in between, what we could do is have like an image with like some of the presenter's bio information, like an image and some of the presenter's bio information or background, and then we bring that up and then quickly switch to the person, or maybe leave that on screen for like a 1 or 2 seconds and then switch to the person so they could begin their presentation. So yep, there's a few workarounds to this available to us. Besides that, besides just having one person on screen, 2 persons on screen, or broadcasting software does allow for some graphics, some images, some videos to be played. So let me first demonstrate some of the graphics available to us. You already saw that we could bring up images or switch the images and so on, but we could also bring up images on the screen with some animation. So say you have a presenter presenting, you could add a little animation or image with their name, as you can see here, showing up on the screen currently with my name, and that image could appear, it could disappear. We could add some animations for it to appear and disappear. Same thing, let me switch to enchant, so I'll use my same image method and bring up my image. There we go, and then add a little graphic for enchant there and remove the graphic, and now I'll just switch back to myself. So pin, unpin. Yep. So those are some additional things we could add, some graphics to come up on the screen. Now this graphics could be images, as you see here, with names or text in it. It could be actual video graphics showing up on the side of the screen if we need that, or many other stuff, so GIFs, graphics, anything really necessary. Besides that, we could also have setups if someone needs to, like, say, deliver a PowerPoint presentation on our screen. We could switch it up so that we could see myself, say, in a corner, whoever's delivering the presentation in a corner, and we have the presentation up on the side, and then they could be talking while the presentation goes from the next slide to the next slide and so on. That's another way we could use this OBS broadcasting software. And then besides that, of course, we could bring up videos. So we might have a test video here, say the same video that plays in the beginning of some of the Thought Leadership series video sessions. And we could bring up this video and play it. So let me just mute myself for a second while I play.
Service delivery and people's lives in general. Smart solutions are entering our everyday lives, and digitalization and datafication of everything is the norm.
Yep, and I could pause, play the video, I could mute all the presenters so that they don't talk over the video, or I could unmute them so that if we have a
In our economies, while short-term considerations seem to prevail, long-term challenges with cascading effects.
Yep. So there's many features available to us. So say in the beginning of a live stream, if we have a recorded video, to start the live stream like this one, as in the other Thought Leadership series, I can start with the stream will begin shortly screen, switch then to the test video, let the test video run. And then switch back to the actual participants in the meeting. So yep, those are, I would say, what is available to us, or the method we are presenting to run this Thought Leadership. There are some upsides and downsides which I'll just cover quickly now. So upsides, we are working with Microsoft Teams, and therefore presenters don't need to go into a room that's set up with cameras, mics, camera stand, and so on. They could just present from the comfort of their home or their office once they have an adequate webcam or mic, well, both set up for themselves. The downsides that we will that I do foresee is internet connectivity. That's one of the major downsides I'm seeing, whereby if a presenter's internet drops, the connection will just their video might stick, or you might see reconnecting and so on. The other downside I'm seeing is the actual running of the back end of the stream will have to be, and this is most likely the case for the old thought leadership videos as well, but the stream will need to be laid out and set up beforehand. So if we need like a PowerPoint presentation, this must be set up beforehand. If we need a video play, the video must be queued up and ready to be played beforehand, and so on. Any images and so on must be ready and set up beforehand. So those are the upsides and downsides to using this. So yep, that brings us to the end of our presentation on the OBS software and Teams this morning, and I hope it does provide you the information required to make the decision if we want to use this going forward. So thanks so much and have a great day.